Hello and welcome to UMAi Salami. Today we're going to show you how we made venison salami. We used the UMAi Dry Sausage Kit that contains Bactoferm culture, and we had a nice big piece of venison rump to work with. As the recipe shows, you also need a little bit of pork and a little bit of back fat to add to the mix to make a really good salami. And it's important to chill the meat, cut it into cubes, evenly sized, no more than an inch square or 2.5 centimeters, and then you're going to chill it again. So here we chopped up all the meat into nice even squares, getting it ready for grinding, and check the size, and then we chilled this all down again so that when we're grinding we get nice clear particles. The other trick when you're grinding is to alternate the different types of meat and fat so that you get a nice mix. We added then the salt, cure, and spices, which we pulverized, and we started by tossing them in so that the individual pieces of the grind were not mashed. Then we added the Bactoferm that had been dissolved in room temperature water, which had previously been boiled to remove the chlorine. And once we got the diluted live culture in there, we kneaded it. We mixed it in and then we started kneading it to get it so that it was, the meat will start to respond and get very stiff. The next step was to measure out the casings in the length of sausage that we wanted to make and seal the ends. Now if your vacuum sealer has a moist setting, use that. It will give you just a little extra time to melt the UMAi Dry material effectively. If your vacuum sealer does not, use the twice seal method, where you just seal 2 times in the same place. And stuff out the sausage as is the normal good process. You want to make sure there's no air bubbles or gaps in there, so stuff it out nice and tight. And then you're going to need the VacMouse vacuum aid strip, which we cut into just the right size to fit into the opening of the sausage casing. The VacMouse will let you pull the air out with a regular household channel sealer. So we crimped the opening of the UMAi Dry to give it some nice creases for the air to flow out through, put a piece of VacMouse in, and again, using the vacuum and seal function, we used the moist seal. If you don't have a moist seal, use that twice seal technique to make sure that your seal is nice and solid. So after sealing up the end of the sausage, we check the seal of each to make sure that it's nice and clear and completely sealed end to end, and then we did a backup seal so that we know that end is nice and closed. The next step, of course, is to prepare the string so that you can hang the sausage for fermentation. Now you're going to need to ferment around room temperature, 65 to 70 degrees or so, and the most critical thing is probably to make sure that there's not a lot of air blowing on the meat. So when you first hang it, it's going to have a light color, and over the 72 hours that it's fermenting, it will darken, showing you that the fermentation has taken place. Then rest your sausages in the fridge on an open wire rack for the appropriate amount of time to lose 30% of the weight. And then all you have to do is peel off the UMAi Dry. As you can see, it's a pretty easy process. You get a nice clear outside with a really beautiful finished product. Thanks for joining us at UMAi Salami.